comment the World Cup finale. The match ended at around 6 p.m. and Natalie went back to her home. However, the next day, no one could get through to Natalie. She didn't show up to work and wasn't picking up her phone either. At the time, she was also 15 weeks pregnant with Steven's child. So when she went silent, her friends and family. Unfortunately, he was too late. When Steven arrived at Natalie's home, the door was wide open. Inside, he found her lifeless on the floor. However, investigators did not find any evidence of a forced entry into her home. This, combined with the fact that Steven was the one who reported her death to the police, made him the lead suspect in her murder investigation, and he was arrested shortly after. However, this arrest didn't last long, because as the authorities quickly found out, Steven had a strong alibi. According to the post-mortem report, Natalie was killed during the same time Steven was live-streaming from his home. Dark clothes and white shoes heading towards Natalie's home at 8:52 p.m. And then the same person going back billed as Steven. This put him on the radar once again, but it also raised a valid question.
My name is Bruno Brisi. I'm a creative coder and a fan of rock music. I've worked with big agencies, small design studios, and
Could have easily fled to any of the neighboring countries. In the meantime, Natalie's case had become national. Seized the suspect's car. Investigators also found the weapon the killer used on this completely fake. The whole thing was pre-recorded and broadcasted to simply look like a live stream. After his arrest, investigators went through his computer and found the original recording, which was made on the 14th of December, 4 days before the incident. They also found no doubt in the fact that Steven was the one who went to Natalie's home to commit a predetermined crime. In hindsight, vicious moments during the fake live stream that should have raised more alarms. For starters, the stream was titled The Violet Night Christmas Live Gaming Stream. Excuse as to why he wouldn't be able to interact with the live chat.
Well, by all means, talk amongst yourselves.
This ensured that no one questioned why he wasn't talking with his viewers, which is essentially the whole point of doing a stream instead of posting a pre-recorded video. At the start of the stream, Steven made sure to repeatedly mention what day it was.
Hello to all on this glorious Sunday evening. So I just thought, why not? I'm going to do a live stream because this day next week is Christmas. So what more could you want for Christmas other than an evening with your old pal, Steven?
This was likely an effort to make his alibi stronger and to say, look, I was streaming the same night. I even mentioned the day at the beginning. Of that, many moments in the stream also took on a far more disturbing meaning after the truth came out. Like him singing about killing someone in-game, which can also be interpreted as him cryptically talking about his girlfriend.
I need to kill it. I need to take her down. 'Cause I won't pass the mission if I don't get this.
Sounds like Natalie's name and finds it unusually amusing.
Yeah, that's physics. That's what would happen in the real world. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The most creepy moment, however, was the stream. While he was on break, suddenly which made the strange graphic come up. But since we now know that the live stream was pre-recorded, Steven deliberately included this graphic at this point during the editing, likely alluding to the crime he was going to commit on that day. This theory becomes even more credible once you consider the fact that this movie poster came up at about 9:15 p.m., which perfectly aligns with the time he was at Natalie's house committing the brutal crime. That said, his clever schemes were derailed and he was charged with murder. He was also refused bail. And at the time of writing, he's awaiting trial on May 6, 2025. Hopefully, Natalie and her family can get the justice they deserve. On April 4th, 2020, Ernest Wilson went live on Facebook during a house party, without knowing that these were his final moments alive. Ernest was a 24-year-old warehouse worker living in Baltimore, Maryland. The only passion he had in life was for partying, playing board games, and turning them into drinking games frequented. So he decided to take matters in his own hands and came up with a solid plan. He would rent Airbnbs, host an invite-only party which he referred to as a game night with a fee to cover the expenses, and have a good time with his friends. These parties started off small but quickly grew in numbers as more and more people became aware of them. And on April 3rd, he went onto Facebook to plan another party that weekend, asking, "Should I do game nights again this weekend?" And, "We playing hide and seek at game night tonight?" After receiving enough confirmations, he decided to go ahead with the plans and announced a 2-day game night with free entry for girls and a $5 fee for the guys. Not long after this announcement, he also made a post about bringing uninvited people, stating, "Please don't show up with nobody I didn't personally invite if we didn't discuss it first. They're going to get left outside." Maybe he had experienced problems with uninvited guests at past events. Or maybe he simply wanted to know the exact number of attendees ahead of time, everyone dancing and having a good time. That is until 2:30 a.m. when the group decided to play the hide-and-seek game they discussed earlier. Ernest took charge as the first seeker and began a countdown at the Airbnb's backyard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
However, as soon as he began searching for his friends, he stumbled upon something completely unexpected.
1, 2, 3. Who the is that, G?
I don't know. I'm in your face.
Get your on the other side of this gate. Who the this can't be one of my friends.
He saw someone trying to jump the fence and break into the property. Now, the correct response would have been to go back inside to safety and call the cops on this intruder. However, Ernest was already a bit on. He decided to confront the man on his own, and that's when things took a turn. The intruder was armed, and after some back and forth, tragically shot Ernest before fleeing the scene, all of which could be heard on the live stream.
Hey, Park!
The police arrived at the property at 2:45 a.m., where they found Ernest lying in a pool of his own blood. According to the few statements that were released to the public, this appeared to be a case of a robbery gone wrong. However, some believe there was laughing in the background.
Hey, Park!
As the story goes, this girl was an accomplice of the intruder who planned to either rob the place or eliminate Ernest for some reason, with one person on YouTube who tried coming through the door. Once discovering it was locked, she told them to hop the fence as clear as day. So whatever their motive was, I doubt we'll ever know, especially 5 years later.
Use PDF Filler to edit documents anytime, anywhere, from any device.